Now the election back and I'll die away. In short, this is what I have to say. Let us forget fights and grudges and concentrate. Come, let us sit and try to relate. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come, let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build a nation together. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Remember, the key to success is working hard. For our country, we must have regard.
Yes, indeed, the key to success is working hard, but also working smart to build Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, and to build yourself, to build your family, to make things better for you and your family members. So again, I want to encourage you to work hard, be disciplined, be focused, but also incorporate some smart strategies and techniques to make things a little bit easier for you as you pursue your dreams, your goals, your desires, and go at it with all that you have in you. I want to encourage those on Facebook and YouTube to please share the live, the dynamic hour every Sunday from 1 to 2. We zoom in on the positive things that are happening in Grenada. We have a robust intellectual conversation on the good things that are happening in Grenada. We look at the issues straight in the face and we talk about them, not with a negative mindset. Because, there are some people who go into things already concluding negatively or thinking along that line. They always see things grim, dark, obscured, negative, the bad side of everything. That is how they view it. It's just like mainstream media. They're all about sensationalism. They're all about highlighting the bad things, the negative things. Let's talk about the bad things that happen during this week. You look at some of the programs on Sunday, it's all about highlighting the bad things that happen during this week and not the good things, not the positive things at all. But this program is different. It is uniquely different. What we do is showcase the positive things that are happening in the country. And yes, it's not sexy. And yes, it's not sensational, right? I was saying to a friend sometime Friday, either Thursday or Friday, when I was fighting to get into power so that the NDC can form the government, it was a mix. Sensationalism, drama, my gesticulation was different, my tonation was different. The whole display was just different because I wanted people to listen to this and listen to that, and but now that the NDC is in power, it's about educating, it's about empowering, it's about building on that foundation, right? Because people got to that place where they know me for certain things, for credible information, for factual stuff, for not having tolerance for stupidity and nonsense. I am all about positivity, about Grenada, about putting Grenada first and making sure that we develop this place and transform this place. So when I discuss stuff here, I don't expect the huge numbers, right? Like when I was in opposition or with no seats fighting to get into government, right? But over time, I believe people will gravitate more and more towards the positive news. But still, I am on par with nearly all those different outfits in Grenada, right? Even though the content that I put out there, that has changed. That's different now than then, right? Because I'm kind of cognizant of the fact that the NNP still has their core support or supporters intact. The NNP, they still got 20 something thousand votes. I think it was 28,959 votes. So they still got that amount in the trunk, right? In the overall total. And the NDC got 31,430 votes. So anyhow you look at it, the NNP still has a good amount of people supporting them, and the NDC has a good amount of people supporting them. The NDC will lose some support as the incumbent, and they will gain some support as the incumbent because they are doing well. As a party, as a government, they're attractive, they're appealing, they're able to lure people in their corner because they're doing well, and a lot of people are benefiting significantly from the NDC being in power. They have changed a lot of lives positively. So yes, there will be people who voted for the NDC and decided not to support them for whatever personal reason. There will be things happening between now and then. You don't get road walk, you might be uptight, you're removed from the roadside, from vending or selling food and drinks without a toilet and sink or running water and so on. You vex, you're angry. Maybe you voted for the NDC, you're a bit pissed. The NNP not going to do anything for you. They're not going to help you. They're not going to improve your life. They're not going to invest anything in you, really, because they were there. They did nothing for you. So you will be fooling yourself to believe that they're on your side. They just want to come back into power. They're not on your side, right? Or else they would have improved the area that you were selling on, right? They would have made it better for you. They never did that. But now it's all about getting back into power, and they would ride on your back to get back into power if they have to, right? But, one of two of them, they might be aggrieved. Some of them are a little bit of concrete road, the NDC bill in a particular area and reach by you, you vex. Maybe you see your neighbor get some opportunity and you didn't get, you vex. Maybe you want some material assistance, you didn't get it, you vex. And things would happen, right? You would have different encounters. So as an incumbent, you're down to lose some support. But once your government is doing well, then there's a great probability to level off. So you have to find other strategies, other ways and means to cross the line bigly. And that is why I've focused heavily on making sure that the people in the diaspora understand their role in this democracy and how important that role is. Right? So I am very cognizant of the fact that you have NNP supporters out there, you have NDC supporters, and the NNP supporters, they want to hear the negative thing, they want to hear the bad thing. So they would gravitate towards the Simon Says program on YouTube, Jenny Simon. They would gravitate towards the Sheldon Scott program talking points, they would gravitate towards uh, the classroom, I think. Prince James, that guy. They would gravitate towards the Mosquito Man program, the Buzz or whatever they call that program. They would gravitate towards Francis Pear. They would gravitate towards the Andrew Donald. They would gravitate towards Carl Keaton. They would gravitate towards the Devon Romaine. You know that station. They're going to gravitate towards the Plea Due Cause program in the morning time, right? Monday to Friday or so. So I am cognizant of that because they want to hear the negative news about government. They want to hear the bad stories. You know, it's like people who like horror movies. That is what they love. If you go and try to show some romantic film or some adventurous film or something of that sort, they get angry. They get pissed. They want horror movies. And it's like the NNP supporters. They want to hear bad things about Grenada. They want to hear bad things about NDC. And they're not getting that. They are not getting that. You see? Because the government is performing well. But I am still cognizant of the fact. I'm still, knowledgeable of the fact that both parties, they have their core supporters and they have a base. And their base is 20-something thousand people, 20-something thousand people. So, the Sheldon Scotts or the Jenny Simon, for example, she being on YouTube and getting, let's say, 5,000 people on average, right? On average. Or let's say 6,000 people viewing her on average. In the scheme of things, that's just 6,000 out of the 28,000 block of NNP supporters. And out of that 6,000, you still have 1,000 or 2,000 people who are curious, who looking on because they ding. They want to hear what she's talking about and, that kind of thing. You can't run away from that reality, right? So you still have to break it down to a good 4,000 or so people who NNP and hardcore and they want to hear. And so, you see? And then you have the Sheldon Scott's program, right? Talking point. And so you would have, on average, he would have 3,000, YouTube 3,000, Facebook 3,000. So on average, 5,000-6,000 people, right? On average. But you have an NNP block of 20-something thousand. So he's not able to get that 20-something thousand to listen to him and to follow. And it's a similar thing with nearly all the other programs, right? And podcasts and so on. And then from my end, I have radio working for me in New York, here in Grenada, YouTube, Facebook. So, but it's not really about that. But to say to you that we have to also be cognizant of the reality. NNP has supporters, NDC has supporters, and you have people in the middle who are not NNP, who are not NDC, but they want good for Grenada, right? They want Grenada to be transformed. They want things to happen in the different communities. They want things to happen in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, that will bring the country forward, that will move the country forward, right? And they were very instrumental in the last general election. And so far, they're holding up in the sense that there are a lot of people in the middle who will tell you straight up they love what the most honorable Deacon Mitchell and the NDC is doing, right? They're telling you straight up. They're not hiding anything. I met a lady on Saturday, that's yesterday. She was saying to me, look, Kim, boy, to be honest with you, she says straight up, she never supported NNP or NDC, but she's impressed with what the NDC is doing and what the most honorable Deacon Mitchell is doing. And she wants to make sure that that continues. So she registered and she said she's encouraging her family members and friends to register and to support the transformation agenda. It's not that she's NDC, because she's not a member of the NDC. She's not registered as an NDC member, but she just loves what is happening with government and what the most honorable Deacon Mitchell is doing and how the economy is stable and how things are happening for our people home and abroad, because our people are energized, even in the diaspora, to do more, to build this place, to transform this place. A while ago, I was speaking to, I read a message from Natasha Bola. She said, hey, I sent down some stuff, again, to help, I think it's Princess Alice Hospital. some supplies and other things like that. So there are people who are working extremely hard to build this place, to transform this place, to make this place better. And that's a good thing. People are energized. So the people in the middle, they're not going to, go for the NNP. They've experienced the NNP for 20-something years. The people in the middle, right? So the NNP supporters, they're going to remain NNP, the majority of them. The NDC supporters, they're going to remain NDC, the majority of them. But those in the center, right? They're impressed. They're happy with what is happening in the country. They're extremely happy. So I'm cognizant of that. I am, pretty much aware of that. So these things don't move me that much. I follow nearly all talk show programs, podcasts, and I go back, I check them out, I follow their talking points, and the angle and what they're trying to push. So the majority of NNP podcasters and different programs and other things like that, they're all negative. They want to see Grenada on its knees. They want bad to befall this country. That is what they want. And every time something is good and successful, they pissed, they angry, they bitter, they sour. They want to fight with themselves. And you see that every single time. Yep. You hear them make certain statements and you wonder if they're Grenadians and if they really mean good for this country, if they want good for this country. A lot of them, they're angry. They cannot openly applaud or commend the government for anything. So, for example, the Chinese houses, the low-income houses, right? That was officially handed over in the current area to a number of people who applied and who were successful. But here it is. The NNP cannot wrap their minds around the fact that the NDC administration, the most honorable Deacon Mitchell, had the vision and leadership to say, we are not going to just put our Grenadian brothers and sisters in a Chinese apartment without certain things in there. The NNP would just dump them in there. That's how the NNP thinks. That's how the NNP operates. They don't know about classy stuff or nice stuff or good stuff or preparing something good, preparing a place good so that somebody could come and live. So the NDC, the most honorable Deacon Mitchell, said, no, we are going to invest $4 or $5 million to put closets, to put cupboards, to put counters, to put, to ready the place. So all these people have to do is bring their washing machine, bring their stove, bring their fridge, bring their bed, and set up and start to sleep. So the NDC did that. And then they hand over these units to people who were successful. And that's a caring government. That's a government with love, a government who understands people and the needs of all people. Because a person would love to get an apartment and just bring in these things and start to live. Right? But the NNP cannot wrap their minds around that good that the NDC did. So the NNP wants to take credit. They say, well, these units were given under the NNP administration. Okay, well, government is a continuum. So we give you that. These units were built under the NNP time. Congratulations, thumbs up. But the NNP cannot be mature enough to acknowledge the fact that the NDC administration did not just give these people an empty unit with no closets, no cupboards, no sink, no nothing, no counter, no. You understand? NDC provided that. They make sure that the thing is livable on day one. But the NNP cannot openly come out and acknowledge that and applaud that. They are not mature enough. They are so bitter. They are so sour. They are so pissed that they lost the election. They cannot acknowledge that, which is rather Rather sad, if you ask me. But look at me. I can openly say, well, they want credit. Let's give them credit. The houses, the Chinese houses, they were constructed under them. But they actually gave those units out. Remember, the NDC administration, when they came in there, they said, no. Because in the lead up to the election, the NNP gave some people some of these apartments, empty as it was, vacant. They expected these people to go in there and put their clothes on the ground. They expected them to sit down on the blocks and cook instead of these units, right? They expected them to have their pots and pans and everything like that in some kind of box or something there. That is what they expected. You see, we have to man up and face the reality, and the facts are there. The NNP in the lead up to the election actually gave out some of these units. In fact, some of the letters were not even properly signed by the right people. It was not even signed by the right people who were supposed to sign it. And they gave these people the apartments. So the government now, the NDC administration, had to say, no, that's not how it's going to be distributed. We ain't doing it that way, right? But the NNP's vision at the time of Grenadians occupying these units were one where you had no closet, so you put your clothes on the ground or in some basket or in some box. You had no cupboards, so all your pans and pots and forks and spoons and everything like that, you had it either on the ground or in some kind of corner. No nothing in there, no counter. It would have been the usual poor everything, right? When you go into a house and it's poor people living there, no closets, no cupboards, no counter, no nothing, no provision for nothing. They just want you to go in there and turn it into a ghetto, turn it into a slum. The NNP is classless, The NNP, they're classless. They don't know nice thing. They don't know how to prepare something nice and organize something nice. They japa. And you could just watch some of them. Just watch some of the members of the NNP. The way they dress, the way they talk, the way they, function, the way they do things. So I am saying the NNP is so angry, so bitter, they cannot acknowledge that. Then you have the Six Senses Hotel. They officially launch that hotel. Well, we're giving you credit. Take credit. The investor, through the whole Citizenship by Investment program, came in and started the operation under you. Great. Take credit. But the kind of partnership forged with this government caused the investor to be overconfident, extremely happy, and he expressed that openly. He loves working with this administration, and he appreciated the fact that he was able to come in under the previous administration. Nothing wrong with that. But because government is a continuum, and this government is pro-investment, pro-business, these investors, they are extremely excited to work with this government. So I am saying, look, the NNP is so bitter, so angry, so pissed. You listen to their podcasts and programs, and they're angry. They cannot acknowledge the good things that this government did and continue to do. So yes, we're giving you credit because government is a continuum. The investor came in under you, but the investor didn't pack and go when you lost the election. In fact, the relationship got even stronger between the investor and this administration and government. It's what it is. But I am saying they are so bitter, they are so angry, they are so pissed. They didn't win the election. Okay, you didn't win it. But Grenada has to continue to develop. Grenada has to, keep moving to the next level. Come on. You're a bitter, very, very angry. But I want to commend the government. I want to commend the government for having the vision to say, hey, we are not going to just give these people these units like that. We want their standard to be lifted, right? We want their standard to be better. We're going to invest in putting certain things in there. And that is the way to go. So let us just hear from our beloved Prime Minister.
Applicants of the low-income housing units at Corinth St. David are one step closer to becoming homeowners, following Friday's ceremony to mark the handover of keys. More than 150 Grenadians engaged financial institutions to seek assistance to purchase units at the facility. 60 have so far qualified and are pre-approved, and 30 have completed inspections. Prime Minister and Parliamentary Representative for St. David, Honorable Deacon Mitchell, emphasized the significance of owning a home and government's commitment to support that fundamental right.
For this housing complex to remain a viable, sustainable community, it requires persons who will take ownership of what, through the kind compliments of the People's Republic of China, has been gifted to Grenada, so that they can own it, they can take care of it, they can improve it, and so that they can pass it on to the next generation of Grenadians. And so I want to congratulate all of the beneficiaries who've stepped up and put their hands up and given their commitment to being a homeowner and to creating a more stable, a more friendly, and a more prosperous environment within which to raise your family. I ask you, for those who may not be from St. David and who will be coming into this community, to embrace the community. It is a growing, thriving, loving community. We ask you to contribute to it, to engage with your neighbors, to contribute to social and community development. There's a lot happening.
The Grenada Housing Authority has committed to cover the cost of insurance for the first 10 years and also manage security and repairs for the first 3 years. Manager Jason Williams said all the units have been accounted for.
The Housing Authority of Grenada will commence inspections of units of pre-approved persons in the following order. The Villa, St. Patrick and Dumfries Carriacou to commence on 2nd of April 2024, followed by Boucher's on the 15th of April and Diamond St. Mark on the 29th of April. Now, once our units are inspected and accepted by the purchaser, you'll be required to sign a sale agreement. I'm speaking of the converted, yeah, in some cases. Following the signing of the sale agreement, the process will be then completed by our lawyers representing both HAG, the Housing Authority, and our client's financial institution. And it's as simple as this. With the aid of our highly respected and dedicated lawyers in our law firm, we assure that the process is a simple and seamless one.
He outlined the inspection schedule for the other sites as the process continues to hand over the keys to the homeowners.
The Housing Authority, for the first 10 years, will bear the full cost of insurance coverage for all the buildings at the developments against fire and special perils. For the first 3 years, we'll also manage the security, repairs, and maintenance of the development. The cost of repair and maintenance to all public areas within the development for the first 3 years will also be met by the Housing Authority of Grenada. As many will know, the operational model of the Phase 2 development, including current, is distinct from the Phase 1 developments and previous developments undertaken by the government of Grenada. A homeowners association will be established for the condominium members, all residents of the facilities. This HOA will be equipped to handle the affairs of the condominium following the Housing Authority's handover. Presently, we have a secretariat on site, the first building as you enter from the top, as well as a full-time maintenance crew to assist homeowners when they move in.
Chinese Ambassador to Grenada, Wei Hongsheng, is proud of the milestone and commits to keep Grenada's development at the top of its agenda.
So, during our efforts or endeavor to realization of these noble goals, I think our two governments and two people will join efforts and work closely for the realization of our respective goals. And as we are approaching the 20th anniversary of the resumption of the diplomatic ties next January, so we expect more meaningful results of practical cooperation between our two countries and two people.
Yes. So, the Chinese ambassador, he has always been at the center of the relationship, Grenada and the People's Republic of China. In fact, some of those NNP pundits were very angry when he went into St. David and actually walked the communities with the most honorable Deacon Mitchell, because that never happened under the NNP. They were very pissed. They were very angry. They were very, well, as we say, blue. They vex. But as Velma Adonis said, any intelligent, any visionary, any sensible investor or government would love and really embrace, they would really embrace this administration, working with this government and working with this team. All right. So far, so good. So far, so good. But I am saying sometimes we have to kind of visualize what it would have been like under NNP versus what it is now under NDC. That is why I say to you, the NNP actually gave out some of these units without cupboards, without closets, without counters, without nothing in there. Empty. They expected people to go in there and live just like that. With their clothes on the ground, their, as we say, wares, right? Pots, pan, spoon, whatever, on the ground. They expected that because that is how they see our people living poor, living in certain conditions. That is how the NNP has always viewed our people. But under the NDC, the same units, because NDC decided, no, we're not giving out these units the way they are. Yes, we are grateful to the people, the government and people of the Republic of China for the gift of the low-income houses, but we're going to invest our money in making it livable for our people. So the government invested about $4 or $5 million in making it livable. And I think it is important, very important, for us to appreciate and understand that. If it was NNP, these people were getting the units without closets, cupboards, counters, anything of that sort, empty, right? NDC is different.
Beneficiaries of the current low-income housing units say they are grateful to the government of Grenada for the opportunity to have a place to call their own. On Friday, they attended the handover ceremony along with representatives of financial institutions to mark the beginning of a new chapter in their lives.
I'm very, very, very happy. Thank God for that. I thank God for the government for such gesture. I see it as a great opportunity for persons who, like I already said before, who doesn't have land or, that where they can acquire their own home. They have something to go forward with and to build and make themselves happy and comfortable, not just for today or tomorrow, but it's a lifetime journey and for our generations to come.
Elated, I am excited. This has been one of my goals over the past 5-6 years. And because of the equity, not having sufficient equity, I was unable to acquire my own home. But because of the move of the government and the People's Republic of China, I was and am successful in being a homeowner. It's just great. It's a great feeling to know, they would have taken into consideration that, the population is not able to acquire it on their own, but because of the stand the government and the people took, they are able to acquire a home here.
I'm very happy that she could own something, because she never had owned her own house at the age of 85. She's 85 but going strong. So I'm very happy for her. Very, very happy. And I thank the Prime Minister and the Republic of China and Andy Williams and the team for a job well done.
Yes, so that's good. People actually commending the government on a job well done. My good friend, Miss Forsyth there, Laurel, she said Andy did a good job in making a comparison. So I went on Andy's page and I just downloaded his presentation. So I hope the quality is good.
Thank you very much. Good morning to everyone. Prime Minister, the Honorable Deacon Mitchell, and MP for the second best constituency. Okay, so for today, I'll say the best constituency. Ambassador Wei, Board of Directors of the Housing Authority of Grenada, management and staff of the Housing Authority of Grenada, Ms. Francis, National Carnival Queen, financial institutions, media, homeowners, community members, all. I stand here this morning feeling blessed to be a part of this historic moment. And folks, there comes a time when a government needs to make bold decisions to uplift the lives of its people. In 2024 and going forward, it cannot be business as usual. The world is sowing, and we too have to sow with it. The new housing arrangement gives homeowners a chance to earn equity. And you may ask, what is equity? You can calculate or figure out equity simple by subtracting the cost or your monthly payments, your total monthly payments from the value of your property. So when homeowners sign the agreement and they accept and they walk in those doors, they are walking in with thousands of dollars in equity. And sometimes we are accustomed to a handout. But this arrangement in itself is a handout. I want to thank our Prime Minister, Ministers of Cabinet, for thinking outside the box and for giving homeowners an opportunity to sow. I use this opportunity to thank the People's Republic of China for being a true friend to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and PD Martinique. I want to also thank the folks, the contractors, Housing Authority, and those who work hard to make these units livable. Today as we speak, there are units in phase 1 without cupboards, cabinets, and so on. And we as a government thought it was necessary to take the time to do these things so that when someone enters these homes, they are entering a complete home, a place where they can live with their children and so on. And I will end on this note. Folks, sometimes people may not understand the hard things The popular thing may be easier, but what we have done here today is that we are changing the landscape of housing in Grenada, and we are helping people to understand the dynamics in terms of investment and moving their life forward.
Yes, so that was the Honorable Andy Williams there, my good pal. And look, I said so from the get-go. This government has the foresight, has the vision to say, hey, we're not going to just allow our Grenadian brothers and sisters to go and live in a unit. Yes, it was a gift from the People's Republic of China, these low-income houses or units or apartments, but we're going to improve it. We're going to make it livable on day one. So we're going to put the closets in the rooms, we're going to put the counters, we're going to put the cupboards, we're going to put all that is required. So all you need to do is to just walk in with your stuff and live. And I love that. I really, really do. I am saying the NNP must be mature. I know they can't. Something miraculous has to happen for them to be mature, but they should be mature enough to acknowledge the fact that this government has vision, this government has foresight, this government cares about people and people's well-being to make these apartments livable on day one. And they don't want these apartments or housing units to become a slum or a ghetto. That is why when a person goes into a financial institution, takes a loan, pays housing authority to get a unit, they have some level of responsibility to make sure that they pay and that they take care of their investment. That is important because you don't want this place to run down and become a ghetto, a place for drug pushers and so on and so forth. So I love the fact that they're going through that process so that the right people can get those units. Because you don't want when you go to work, when you make that investment, you go to work, you have somebody who is next door not working, smoking, drinking, and eventually you know what they will do. They would break your place, they would harass you. It would be a place not worthy of you living or growing up your children. So I love that. I really do. So I want to commend the government. I'll talk some more about that during the week because it's deeper than just somebody getting a unit or a house or an apartment. It is more than that. It's a government who understands the needs of the people: housing, healthcare, education, agriculture, a government that's focused on making the lives of our people better, way better. So it is easy for the NNP to be out there saying, well, these units happen under us. The People's Republic of China gave us these units and they were constructed under us. Okay, well, beat your chest like King Kong. But the NDC can say, yes, these units were constructed under the previous administration. A gift from the People's Republic of China. But the NDC had the foresight. The NDC had the vision. And because the NDC is a caring government, the most Honorable Deacon Mitchell, who understands what it's like to be living in a house without a closet, without cupboards and counters and, all that is required to live somewhat decent in a home. He knows about that. And he wants to make it better for these people. He's saying, hey, I know about that, but I will make it better for them so that children would not say, well, I grew up in an apartment or a home without closets, without cupboards, and my mother had to put the clothes on the ground in some corner, in some box, or my mother had to put, I'm speaking colloquially here, not my mother. My mother had to put the knives and forks and spoons and bowls and plates and so on in some wash pan or something on the ground, and we can go on and on. You see, I am simply saying it's really making it better for the next generation, for the children and children. And I love that. You're thinking about the future and making it better for them. And we have to keep that going, and encourage the government to do just that. Keep it up. You're on the right track. You're doing the right thing. Yeah? Some people can't see the bigger picture. That's why I say some people need the mirror to see around the corner. Some people don't need that. They already know what's around the corner because they already map out the thing nicely. They have vision. They have foresight. The intel tell them what's down there. You see? So again, let us commend the government. The government is doing a fantastic job. A fantastic job of building this place, of transforming this place. And I love it. Keep it going. Keep it up. You're doing a wonderful, wonderful job. Let's look at another positive. Because we just started to talk about that. Youth in agriculture.
Government's continued support for the development of the agricultural sector was highlighted on Thursday during the official opening of the Young Entrepreneurs, Farmers and Fishers in Agriculture and Agribusiness Project Office. It is located in Lassajet, St. David. The Youth in Agriculture program is funded by the CARICOM Development Fund at a cost of over $1.3 million US. Prime Minister and Parliamentary Representative for St. David, Honorable Deacon Mitchell, in his remarks encouraged Grenada's youthful population to embrace agriculture.
I've never been unemployed in my life. And I've never been unemployed because as a youth, there was always employment in agriculture. So when I grew up going to the estates or to the farms with my grandmother. When I became a teenager and I wanted to dress nicely, I knew I would not get any money from any parent or family. If you wanted to be fancy, I had to go up to the mountains, pick up the nutmegs, clean the nutmegs, separate the maize, put the nutmegs in the bags, and take it to the nutmeg pool in Tibet in St. David. The point I was making is that I was doing this even when I was in Presentation Brothers College. And even after leaving Presentation Brothers College. Because agriculture provided a ready means of earning a living, a ready means of income. And it is still the case today. But our education system has not really placed emphasis or sufficient emphasis on agriculture and ensuring that our youth have the skill sets, the mindset, and I'm saying mindset here, to see agriculture as an attractive career, as an attractive business. And so this Youth in Agriculture initiative and the opening of this project office this morning marks what we believe is a significant pilot project that should become the norm, not just in Grenada, but throughout our CARICOM member states where we are struggling with ensuring that we can get young people involved in the agriculture sector. And when I say involved in the agriculture sector, I don't mean simply as a farmer. Agriculture to a large extent produces our food, and there are many aspects to that. From the actual growing of the food, to the reaping of the food, to the sorting, to the preservation, to the packaging, to the transportation and shipping of the foods, to actually getting the food to a place where we can eat it. And so there are significant career opportunities in agriculture, and Mr. Bagwan made reference to several of these. And so it is absolutely vital for us as a country to support, in a very graphic way, the lowering of the average age of persons who work in the agricultural sector. If we don't do that, there will be no agriculture 25 years from now. And so it is perhaps quite fitting that we have a CARICOM created institution and an institution funded by CARICOM with us this morning, playing the lead role in ensuring that this initiative takes off the ground.
Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Isaac Bagwan, reiterated the ministry's mandate in driving the agricultural sector forward, inclusive of adequate focus on youth involvement.
This young entrepreneurs, farmers, fishers in agriculture and agribusiness project represents new hope and new opportunities for all our young persons. We have heard it said before that the average age of the farmer is over 45 years. It would also help build young people to make sure that they take their business ideas from just a thought into an actual project, and that support will be provided by the GIDC. Very often, we say that the young people do not know what they want, but this project, in a sense, is helping these young persons, that targeted group, to take that idea and to actually develop it into a business plan that they themselves could go with into GDB to be able to get the funds to be able to start the business. This project would also provide training to 50 of our agricultural extension officers so that they could in turn assist our farmers in good farming practices so that they in turn could be able to provide the kind of technical and practical support so that again our farmers would be so informed. Agriculture is an honorable career. It is have huge opportunities. We have to change the mindset as how we perceive farmers because we really have good career opportunities and path, in the area of agriculture. And again, I'm sounding a call to, again, our young persons that we need researchers and we need scientists and we need the soil specialists and we need the marketing persons and we need the persons to play the middle role and we need the data analysis and the persons who will be able to bring that information together to be able to make sure that we consolidate this support.
CEO of the CARICOM Development Fund, Rodinal Suma, applauded the partners working on the development and execution of the Youth in Agriculture project, including the Grenada Development Bank, the GIDC, and the extensive research and guidance provided by the Chinese mission in Grenada.
But this is a scalable initiative. And once the skills upgrading and finance components of this project are successfully operationalized, the CDF is committed to mobilizing additional resources through partnerships to enable the initiative to be scaled up in respect of the volumes of marketable produce and products, the types of technologies applied, and the number of beneficiaries subject to demand. Indeed, our intention is to draw on the successes and lessons learned from this project and from an earlier intervention that we did in St. Lucia of a similar nature to develop and roll out a regional youth in agriculture initiative. So for all of these reasons, we are very pleased as the CARICOM Development Fund to be present at the opening of the project office for the Youth Agriculture Project in Grenada, which will, among other things, act as a one-stop agency for youth wishing to learn about and participate in this initiative.
The Youth in Agriculture program will provide grant loans to over 100 young persons between the ages of 16 and 35 and vocational skills training for over 200 participants. Project coordinator is Cindy Lewis.
It is our hope that this project we would empower our youths with skills, training, and financial aid to become entrepreneurs and to sustain their businesses. In turn, there will be an increase in the agriculture production, which will contribute to our food security and sustainability of Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique.
Yes, so that's a very good project there indeed. I want to big up Cindy. I know her very well. We were a part of a number of initiatives when she was at Red Cross and so on. Cindy's a very good person. So I, again, want to commend the government. You see, good things are happening in Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique, But the opposition forces, all they want to do is to talk about the negative things. And many a times they concoct stories, they make up things to come out there and lie to the Grenadian people. They don't care about Grenada. They don't want Grenada to transform. They're hindrances, they're obstacles, they're enemies of progress. They don't want Grenada to be better. They don't want your life to be better. They don't want you to become more prosperous. They don't want that for you. So as a result, everything that they're pushing or peddling is just the negative, the negative, the negative, the negative. But we have to continue to say good things are happening here, and we can prove it. This government is people-centered. This government is caring. They have at the core the enhancement, the betterment of our people. I spoke about the WASH program, providing indoor bathroom and toilet facilities to our people, our Grenadian brothers and sisters, giving them their dignity back, giving them their womanhood back, their manhood back, right? This government is operating in a way that any logically thinking person, any reasonable thinking person, any patriotic Grenadian will embrace this government, will support this government, will talk highly about this government and their performance thus far. I want to applaud them. I want to encourage them to keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a fantastic job. Go at it. Keep at it. Yes, negativity will not stop because the NNP wants to come back in power, and their style of getting back into power is to condemn, is to criticize, is to talk bad, it's to paint a bad picture and so on, and concoct stories, lies, misinform the public. That's what they've always done to get back into power. And pray for mayhem and chaos and confusion. In fact, they have not been able to even have a convention. They have not been able to get anything done on their part. It's a messy situation with their party and everything else. So we have to stay focused. Folks, I want to wish you all the best. Have a wonderful Sunday. I will be back with you tomorrow, God's willing, starting from